coming through right now.
Let's go out there and flex on these motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, you already
I
know.
pulled something. That is not what I do. That is. Woo, woo.
I used to install off the Willy Wonka machine. Oh, dang.
All right. We are officially live. I want to give a big thanks to Trent and Bella for showing up. You guys are amazing. Bella, literally, this is the first time we're actually speaking to each other, like, person to person, and it's going to be about real-ass parenting shit, and I respect and
What's
I love
up,
that.
Bella?
Thank
Nice to meet you.
much.
Nice to meet you, Trenton. Trent.
Everybody's first time meeting. Okay, that's cool. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things I want to delve into is just to be right out front with it. My oldest son is autistic. He has some delays, and that has caused me to misunderstand some things. And that's kind of like the point of growing as a parent is that lessons and those little things you don't realize. And I think that's one of the things I want to touch on. It's one of the reasons I invited Bella, if you'd like to speak on your experience. That's cool.
Yeah. I found out on Christmas last year that my 4-year-old daughter, now 4-year-old daughter, was diagnosed with autism. And, it's a huge experience because you want to make sure you know what you're doing. You want to know it's a whole different ball game. Like, especially as my second child, I didn't know what to do, but one day at a time. I'll let you go first, leading through, because I'm still a newbie at it too.
It's fine. You just a little intro, and that was perfect. And
awesome.
Right now, Trent, you want to give a little bit about your situation, if you like? Oh no, he's out.
Yeah, man. No, sorry, I'm walking a little distance. No real other prior background, really. I've known Donna for a while. As far as on the YouTube community, I have a son, daughter, and a stepdaughter that's 9. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, thank you. So I want to jump into the deep end of something and just start with punishment. Now, that is a hard topic, obviously, and that's one of the reasons I want to give us a chance to just jump right the fuck in, because I believe if you're gonna get wet, you might as well dive in. You know what I mean? So here we are. I will flat out tell you, I have not figured out how to punish my oldest. One time he pushed his brother off a swing, and I had to save my other son's life. I put my hand on his ass once, because that's what I know in life. I felt so bad afterwards. Oh my God. But he's never pushed his brother off some shit since, but I've never hit him either. Like, don't get me wrong. I've never, like, that feeling I had, I felt so weak. Like, I don't even know how else to put that. And that's not a feeling I ever had for myself. Like, even just thinking about it gets my heart fucking racing, and how fucking piece of shit I am. But I was younger. It was like a year ago. You have to take those lessons and grow.
You do.
And this, I'm gonna hold on to this feeling. I'm never letting this shit go. Like one of those anime characters that holds on to their backstory. Like, this is that shit that's gonna help me fucking turn Super Saiyan as a parent. You know what I mean? Like, this feeling, I'm gonna go to space, I'm gonna scream at some rocks, I'm gonna come back Vegeta. All right, but since then, I'm not gonna lie, my reluctancy to hit him, he knows. And he's gotten more and more bold, and I can yell at him. I can, like, holler. We put him in the timeout. A friend of mine told me British people use the steps, which they just go and sit on the steps. So I've tried everything, and his delays, like, don't catch up with the fact that something's being taken away, or, like, he's being yelled at for something. Like, he just doesn't react to it, and I don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? I haven't figured it out yet, and it's crazy because Killian's only like almost a year. Actually, he's a year in Wednesday. But I can be like, no, and he's already like, hey. You know. But Okanashin, this is my oldest. He's he'll look right at you and throw a vase on the ground. Like,
yeah. It's the impulsive behavior that becomes so destructive. My daughter, I'll never forget the first time she literally gave me a black eye. Like she just went back and she didn't. You have, for people who don't have kids on the spectrum, or with kids with delays or of any sort, it's a different thing to watch, because you see these viral videos of these kids having these panic attacks, breakdowns, and it's like, oh, I would beat that kid. It's not. It's an invisible disability. You cannot think like that. It's so toxic. Also, we make mistakes. We are parents. That is not your fault. I have done things, where I've been like, damn, I hate myself. And you literally learn from it. But like, I don't feel guilty, because I'm pretty sure, I know I don't know your son, but your son's not hanging it over your head. I can guarantee you're doing the best you can.
No, like I'm grateful that my kids, like when they see me, they don't run away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're happy to see me. I came down the street this morning, and my Okanashin doesn't speak too much, but he was like, "Papa," you know what I mean? So I was like, all right, now that's a good way to start your day. And
right.
And I love that. I haven't figured out. Actually, that's not true. There's something we do that I also don't 100% like, is we close the door to his toy room, like as timeout.
Okay.
I don't like that, because it feels almost like locking him in a closet, except for he's literally with all the things he loves. Like, but he doesn't, his reaction is visceral. Like, the second that door closes, he's like screaming and clawing at it. Like,
right.
It's a very real thing. And I'm like, okay, I want to punish him. I don't want to traumatize him. I have to,
right, yeah.
There's a line here, sir.
If I might, because I'm popping in and out, so I just want to make a quick statement.
Please.
Just kind of how you were mentioning, feeling grateful that they're not afraid of you. I think as fathers, we feel that way because we can kind of be a certain, like, we're just obviously the more like physically dominant and just do like that kind of demeanor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I have two, like I said, two girls and a boy. So my punishments are more like, and I come from a workout background, so I make them do like wall sits or something like difficult that happens for like, it's like a minute punishment. Like, she's in hell for like 1 minute, you know what I'm saying? And then like then it's like, yo, then we're good. You know what I'm saying? When she does whatever she has to do, that's the punishment. We're good and set after that. But it is like, when there are things that like when they're too young to, because a couple like the two youngest are too young to be doing wall sits. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have that grasp of just doing what they're told. So you're either like kind of said taking something, slight spankings or whatever. But I don't know. It is kind of hard to discern if you're like if what you're doing is best, but you just try to make sure that you're not, like you said, traumatizing them.
Yeah, that's really like, I hate that I made this comparison, but I've owned dogs, and now that I have children, like, they're puppies. They're for real puppies. Yep. They chew on everything. They
blind puppies.
Blind puppies, yes.
That's
like, they chew indiscriminately. They poop everywhere. Like, the reason we have diapers is like because they don't have tails. Like, that is like the big fucking difference. Like, little tiny babies. Like, my youngest, he's already like fucking trucking around on 2. Like, he wasted no time trying to catch up to his brother. And but for a while we were kind of encouraging the crawl, because one of the things that we talked about with Okanashin is that he walked really fast. He rarely crawled. And part of that we found out could lead to like developmental steps, because there's certain like cognitive functions that come from the act of crawling and pushing yourself up. Like, the whole process builds neurological connections that are like fucking key to progress. And at the time we didn't know that. We were just fucking loving the shit out of our kid. Oh my God, he's walking. Right. This is amazing. You know what I mean? We didn't, we encouraged the walk because we didn't know any better. And I beat myself up because I feel like maybe that was part of it, but I know that like I can't do that. I've been to therapy about this. Like, you can't say anything's your fault because your child is autistic. That is that's the worst thing. One of the worst things you can do, other than blaming the child. Obviously, you know that's like the worst fucking thing I can imagine.
If I can step in, because
Please.
I get a new mom at a dealing with my daughter on the spectrum, and I before, she did not walk or crawl. She would only walk on her knees. And I was in birth to 3. And throughout my pregnancy, I was in and out of the hospital 4 times a week, throwing up. I had hyperemesis, gravidarum, which is like constant vomiting. They gave me Zofran, which is a chemotherapy medication where I had to sign things, saying, if my daughter's born without a heart, if my daughter's born without, this and that. So again, when my daughter's walking on her knees and having these panic attacks because her hands are wet or her toes are touching sand. And I'm like, it's me, it's my fault. I did this. And then the first thing you got to know is like, it's not you. And I grew up in a really toxic family, very physical family, like where parents, they would, do what they need to do to get the disciplinary thing. So it for me, it's a challenge, but just, from what I hear you going through is something similar to what I'm going through, but like you're going through it with the 9-year-old and I'm going through it with the 4-year-old. So it's definitely good to hear your takes on it. But discipline is just something I feel like we'll never, ever feel comfortable about or get a hang of. It's just go with it. Go with your gut feeling. Like that's it. That's all I can say. It's frustrating,
I have this habit of muting myself so that people don't hear me cough after I smoke. But yeah, you actually brought up something that I was going to touch on, which is it's a different age than we were. I don't know how old you are. I'm 35. I'm going to be 36 this year. Like, you cut out.
I'm going to be 30.
30.
So,
right.
Yeah, January.
Yeah, and just the way shit was handled when I didn't even have parents. Like we have a very different life. Like, you know what I mean? I grew up in like foster homes where they could just do whatever the fuck they wanted. You know what I mean? Like punishment was creative and consistent. But like sometimes I had the home beating experience. I don't really know how else to like put that. It's just
Right.
my words, but where somebody beat the crap out of me and they're like, listen, that hurt me more than it hurt you. And it was the first time I was like fucking 9 before I'd ever heard that. Like, because they meant that shit. But this was like the first time that the concept of like it having an effect on the other person. And that definitely changed like I don't want to say my habits, but it helped me understand the view.
Yeah.
A little better. And obviously, I learned that some people just say that shit. You know what I mean? But with my son, is like, I swear to you, like, the millisecond after my hand hit, that voice, that fucking despicable person's voice. Ooh, oh shit, that hurt. I could hear that shit in my ear. Just say, now, you know that hurt me more than it hurt you. And I couldn't bring myself to say it to my kid. I just couldn't. You know what I mean? I could never it just couldn't form in my face. And I had to, I literally just did it and kind of like, don't push your brother, and just carried his brother away and like fucking cried for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. There was one time I was driving before Penelope, my daughter, was diagnosed.
Penelope. Sorry.
Sorry.
No. It's one of the names we were gonna call if we had a daughter for our son was Penelope, and I was like, I don't know, I might call her Penelope.
Oh, that's really cute, actually, Penelope. We named our son her because of Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh,
so,
nice.
After Penelope, and it's funny because her father's so cute. He's like, she's got the glitch, like Vanellope.
Oh,
so it's
God
really
bless his heart.
cute. So it's so cute. So we like, oh no, it's just her glitch. She's good. She's good.
Fine.
She's, show her that show, and she loves that movie, and she loves Vanellope. She's a princess, and with
Hell
the glitch.
Yeah.
So it's just so badass, and it's like it worked out
Yeah,
work out.
that is fucking rad. That is
You
fucking
got
rad.
your own parent. There's nothing you can do from like my aunt has two autistic children and they're both in their 20s and 30s. They're one's in 20s, one is in their 30s now. And there's nothing you can do to make yourself a better parent. You literally just have to go with the flow. Like just keep swimming. That's it. Like that's all I can say about
Not
it.
wrong. And
Just keep going.
yeah, when every now and again my sister will call me up and be like, "So, how are things?" Like, because she's had that I've never wanted children ever life, and
Oh
she's
my God.
been to like 700 countries and shit, and she's out here living her best life, and I'm not jealous, because that shit was never in the cards for me, and I know that, but I'm a little jealous.
I'm jealous. 1 out of 4 things.
Right?
They're all like things. Yeah.
But yeah, she calls me, and I pretty much say the same thing, just day by day, and
That's it.
that's really all you can do. And I will say, my because I started the day with a Facebook reminder of my dog, and I will say, like having a dog made me a better parent. Like it taught me patience with something that couldn't communicate with me. It got my ass out the house to walk them. Got to, you know what I mean. Being
Right.
a responsible dog owner is a first good step to being a less shitty parent.
Amen. Amen. First, you got to start with plants, then
Plants.
dogs, then children.
Yeah, my aloe plant super begs to differ. But in my defense, I had glorious skin for like 3 months.
Fabulous.
It was when I first started doing like YouTube and shit, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm fucking ugly," because I was like looking at myself all the time, and then I realized I don't have to watch any of these. I can just put them out into the world and not look at this face.
That's what I'm gonna do by now.
Yeah, that's what I do now. That's all my...
I don't even care. Like my hair, I just went to Starbucks. I was like, I gotta make this.
You should have seen me. I couldn't find a real brush, so I found one of my children's brushes, and I was just, oh my God, because it's been a mess. Oh, you know what? That's what I'm gonna talk about. Some shit people like everybody knows, but nobody like talks about. Go to your friends that are parents. Go to their house. Let them take a fucking shower. Like real talk. We'll go a week without a shower, and our kids will get showered every 2 days. Like, that is a goddamn I'll speak for myself, because obviously there's not a royal we here, but, like, it becomes, I am so not even, like, top 5 on the list of shit, you know what I mean, that I do not take care of myself. If you have friends who have kids, just give them a half an hour to take a shower. They'll take it. Check on them. They might fall asleep standing up. I mean, you can have your own take on that, but
I know I have sacrificed. I've decided to thrive off of. I have a medical marijuana card, so with anxiety, and then I got my espresso, which totally is just like a dog chasing its tail. It's like like literally in the never-ending circle, because I'm like stress, okay, non-stress, okay, stress, but yeah. I decide to sacrifice sleep in order, so I get like maybe 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night, but I then also get like an hour of time to myself where I can meditate, because our mental health is really important.
See, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not at that level yet. I can't.
I'm telling you, my health took such a nosedive after everything I had to do with my kids. Like, I don't have the energy to have friends. I don't have the energy to call my family. I don't have and then when people say, "Where have you been?" And I'm one child on the spectrum. Is for a psychopsychologist explained to me that dealing with a child with delays and disabilities, it can feel, and then having your own psychological trauma as a child can literally make you feel like you are a soldier coming off of the battlefield with PTSD. That's what a professional explained to me. So they were saying, you know, you go through things. And another thing I'd like to point out, actually, that I found out from a friend who's in their 20s, just got diagnosed, because females don't get diagnosed with autism as quickly as boys do, because girls are more observant and they're quiet, whereas boys become more like, wow, you know, crazy hectic. We have to ditch low functioning and high functioning out of our vocabularies because it is offensive to people on the spectrum. They don't like it. I did not know this because I was like, my daughter's high functioning, and I didn't understand, you know, when a girl said, well, it can hurt someone's feelings. And, you know, low functioning, it's basically how you are deciphering how I can handle, or you can handle them. That's, I don't know, just having a little bit of a.
So I'm making that an actual note because I did not know that.
I did not know that either. And yes. So good for both of us to learn. I didn't
Good
know.
for everybody to learn. Tell your friends.
Right, right.
And here is my ombre from across the pond. Hunter, you beautiful fuck. Yeah, he'll say something when he gets in. But, yeah, let me finish that note.
Are you Gandalfing right now? With your pipe? Do you have a Gandalf pipe? Jesus Christ, I'm so jealous. You show a past.
I'm simply as high as I need to be at any given time. A
Even
wizard
though
is
I'm
not
a-
sober. A wizard is not too high. He is simply as high as he means to be at any given time.
Even though I'm a hobbit and I am small, yet I feel high.
All right, Mark, you in here, buddy?
Yeah, I'm sort of gonna hang around for a few minutes. I'm at my brother's house.
Yeah, you mentioned that. So, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm alright, you know. Things have been a bit better recently, I guess.
All right. Well,
Freeing myself up.
Well, that's good. How are things with because this is specifically a parenting one. If you don't want to speak on it, just be like, move on, and I will. But how are things with you and your daughter?
Yeah, that's where it's gotten better. So
Yeah.
she's a growing girl, man. She's got her needs, and she's driving me insane with them. So big girl now, 11, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. People said I got lucky that I got 2 boys and not a girl, and
I was quite
can't
ecstatic to have a
argue.
girl. There's too many boys in my family, so when the girl came along, I broke that cycle.
Oh man, she's got an army.
Well, she's got 7 uncles, so
Sorry about that, guys. My phone died.
No. Oh, no. Nothing to apologize for, man.
Okay.
We just got Hunter in here. I'm Trent. You know Hunter, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What up, Mike?
what's happening, Trent?
Same shit, babe. Different day.
Yeah, I do want to. Since you're both here, I'll bring this up really quick. Bella just brought something up that apparently we should just strict the words low functioning and high functioning when referring to like autistic or developmentally disabled. As apparent, and I'm just learning this today. Is apparently that's like just a pejorative term. It's more about what the other person can handle than about the individual themselves. If that makes sense, right? Did I explain that
definitely.
right?
It's good. It's good to use high functioning and low functioning in a doctor's perspective, or when you're trying to like, but someone with autism, you know, in their 20s told me that it's just offensive to them. It's offensive when it's a way for us, quote
To gauge
unquote,
their
yeah,
efficiency or whatever. Yeah.
how we can handle it.
Right.
Versus
Right.
like, I don't know, if you guys haven't seen Atypical on Netflix, I highly recommend it. Great series. Kid goes through has autism, just goes through it, and like, you know, the parents, you see everybody in the family's point of view from it, and you know how it affects everyone. A great show. I'd really
I've
recommend
been
it.
scared of that show. I'm not gonna lie to you about it.
It had me on the floor. It had me on the floor.
All right. I respect that.
But, you know.
But yeah, I just learned that, so I figured while we got people here, I would throw that out.
Right. Good to know.
But Let's see. What else? Fuck. I lost all my original notes. I should say one of the kids read off with the original one. I only made notes once and not on the computer because I remember better by hand.
Me too.
So I need to get better about transferring shit over because it's not the first time. But
Look.
I just forget everything.
one of the things I wanted to bring up is a fear of mine that I have that Killian being neurotypical and me being drawn to the I always feel like a monster when I think this, but I can't help the fact that it's a fact. You know, like the kind of son I wanted before I knew I had to adjust my expectations. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make me a monster. It makes me a fucking human.
No, you mourn for the child that you thought you were going to have.
Yeah.
That's it, it's not.
Exactly. And you just it's not even for me, it's not even so much that. It's just all right, that was on me. Those were my expectations. It had nothing to do with him, and what I want should never be pushed on him over who he is. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? That's where I made that. That's where I went with it. And
Right.
so now I'm like worried that, you know, with Killian seeming more and more neurotypical, that I'm going to gravitate towards him more because I already have to spend time. He's the baby, you know what I mean? I'm already spending most of my time holding him, feeding him, changing da 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 da. So I want to find I just don't want to move away from Okanashin in an exclusatory way, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just a fear I have. And I hope that fear keeps me from doing it. You know what I mean? But it doesn't.
They say fear keeps you smart. It keeps you, aware. So maybe it's just your way of yourself reminding yourself, like, okay, I have responsibilities as someone who hasn't, with Carmelo, my oldest, who's 11, and then my daughter, who's 4, it's a whole different path. And sometimes it's not fair to Carmelo because I have to.
Do you want Sage? Can you come in? I just saw that you typed all that. I want to address this. I'm sorry. This is our
What?
I was going to invite Sage, but I know she's like super busy nowadays. And oh my god, I'm so sorry to cut you off. I just got excited.
No,
I'm such an asshole.
I'm excited. More parents, the better.
She's a female diagnosed with autistic spectrum disorder, and in her late 20s. I think it's okay to someone. This is her take on the high-low function. Someone is high or low functioning because part of why my diagnosis was so late, even after 5+ years of psychiatric help, is actually. All right, I'm sending you the link. Wait, let me go get the link. Because you can say this better than me, because I'm butchering it. Let me hit that invite link. I will get it to you.
And Lady Sage is making an appearance.
Yes.
God, I haven't heard from her in a minute.
Where are you? There he is. I'm very happy to have somebody like this. Is a topic that is always important, even if it's not necessarily about parenting in the moment. I put it on I'll just do both. It don't hurt nobody. All right. But yeah, sorry, that threw me off. I'm so happy that she can join us. And now I have the dubious honor of saying, and what did I interrupt you saying, Bella? You muted.
All right. I don't remember. No, it's just like, I don't remember. I don't think I remember.
Damn it. I knew the second I did that, because if that was me, I'd be like, yeah, no, we're going to have to go to the tapes. Anybody? And we're going to have to go to the tapes on this one.
So good.
Sajay, welcome. Please give your piece.
Yeah, I was just saying, I'll just read out some. I don't know if you read it, but I'll read a bit of it. Like, I think it's becoming a bit of a drive recently to push the someone can have ASD, ADHD, dyslexia, or even bipolar, schizophrenia, and still be classed as gifted when it comes to intellect. So it is important to realize that there are high functioning and low functioning individuals with these diagnoses, and that these diagnoses don't reflect intelligence, and that's really important. It doesn't reflect intelligence. Individuals can be incredibly gifted, and often you find that they have these, as my literal head of the unit specializes in autism person would say, big up my doctor, autisticy. He uses the word autisticy people. And when he gave me my first diagnosis and like intelligence, and that's really important. He referred to me as a Thomas Edison type, and I know, and that basically because of the way I talk, being relatively charismatic, which is unusual, but yeah, I am a girl, and a lot of women with autism tend to be less classical on the social awkwardness, especially because a lot of girls make too much eye contact as a way to hide the fact that they're socially awkward. I also have ADHD, which wasn't diagnosed because back when I was young, you had to be destructive for them to accept that you had ADHD as a child. Yeah, to get a childhood diagnosis, you would have to be destructive. I was not destructive in any way, so I was not seen as ADHD. And I also have dyslexia, which again was not picked up because of the level of my vocabulary, but my spelling was always bad, and they thought that maybe I was just not trying. I actually went through speech therapy to try and help dyslexia, which is silly because I hadn't got a speech problem. I had essentially a learning disability. But luckily we have things like autocorrect now, which has taught me a lot of rules when it comes to language, helped me understand how to type and things. I don't know where I'd be without autocorrect, to be honest. But the other one is things like bipolar and schizophrenia. There are people out there who are scarily intelligent but can be classed as having mood disorders and psychiatric disorders, and these things are just not reflections of intelligence. They are the way your brain is wired, and everyone's brain is wired a little bit differently, and that isn't something that's very well received in neurotypical society, because people want to believe that if you've got a wonky brain, you must have other things wonky with you. You must reflect these people that they assume are what neurodiverse people are. And unfortunately, neurodiverse people, the very meaning of it is they are diverse. There are no 1-2 autistic people the same. There are non-verbal autistic people. There are autistic people that can map out the entire of London for you. And that's so important to cherish, that these are individuals who essentially have a biological difference with neurotypical people, and that biological difference is extra synapses. So my brain has more cells, which is why it struggles with long it's basically when you socialize, you're using lots of different parts of the brain on both hemispheres, and to do that it needs like a quick fire across each part. Because I've got so many cells, it takes a little longer to travel, which makes me a little slower with social things. But it means that if I'm really hyper interested, like I believe it's special interests is what they tend to say, that tends to have one area. So like things like, some people it's math, some people it's science. A lot of autistic people really like biology because it helps them understand the world around them, and their place in the world. And these things, they inhabit more one side of the brain, one section of the brain, and that is why they find it so easy to get along with, regardless of whether they are high or low functioning. You know, there are low functioning autistic people that will be able to list you off flowers like they are a botanist, but they would struggle to have a shower properly in a week, and struggle to find socks that fit them because they struggle with the texture of socks. And that is not a reflection on, it's just not a reflection on high and low. It doesn't mean this person is, you know, incapable of doing things or capable. What it means is someone is capable of working around what they've got and someone needs help. And it's important to be able to diagnose somebody as on the higher or lower end of the spectrum based on how much help they need because we should be working for a fair society, not an equal society.
That's a fantastic, like, educating me. I appreciate that, because like I'm so new. Like, my daughter, I had to fight because, you know, I knew something wasn't wrong, but it was a miss. Like, my daughter had Tourette's, because they say, you know, within autism, that sometimes, you, like you said, comes the bipolar, or the OCD hand in hand. She struggles with Tourette's, so she'll hear something and she'll be like, candy, 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 for like 2-3 minutes, and then, you know, I knew something. You know, she was struggling with something. So I would love, like, Sage is that's your name, Sage?
Yeah.
Bella, nice to meet you, and
Nice to meet you too.
loved hearing that, because I am like a sponge. I want to learn so much, and I want to be the best mom for my daughter. And as a girl, everyone's constantly denying it. Oh, she's so smart. She's so brilliant. She's intelligent. What do you mean? She speaks 2 languages at 4. And then it's like, but you don't understand the behavioral issues, or the sensory issues, especially certain clothes, textures,
vacuum cleaners, carpets.
Oh my goodness.
What they're really saying is, what do you mean the book's hard to read? The cover looks fantastic.
Amen. A woman in Starbucks. We were wearing our autism shirts. You know, that's our superpower t-shirt. A woman literally looked at me and said, "How do you know your daughter's autistic though?" And I was like, "Wait, are you talking to me?" Like, wait, what? Who are you? And she's like, "You don't know that." And I'm like, I see a neurologist that I trust, who's a very intelligent woman, whose brother and father were autistic. You know, or they so well versed. She's brilliant. I love this woman. And she was like, yeah.
But I read this article on Facebook.
Huh?
She's like, but I read this article on Facebook this one time.
Right. Let me share you. Right. Misdiagnosed and all that. Or the shots that I love that one. Did you get your daughter vaccinated?
Oh, was it because the vaccine? No, it's because his brain is better than ours. Like, that's just what I tell people now. Like, I make no precursor about it. I just flat out tell people my son's better than us.
Oh, I'm strong with the F word. I'm real strong with the F word.
Oh, Sid knows. I cuss like a sailor on leave.
Random story. Oh, yeah. My daughter heard a girl and her friend talking about tangerines in the supermarket yesterday. And the girl's like, "I love tangerines. They're so good." And my daughter's like, "Yuck! Tangerines suck." And the girl's like, "That's really rude." And I'm like, I mean, it's
not rude. It's rude to other people, because they are held to social norms that autistic people don't recognize.
And again, nobody can see her. She looks, she appears normal. Quotation. Like, I hate that so much.
Yeah, no, that's my least favorite. Oh, but he looks so normal.
Oh,
you can see his brain.
I'm nuts.
Like, oh my God, you can see his brain. You fucking wizard. Oh my God, you must be a sorcerer. How could you fucking do that? Please teach me your ways.
Teach me your ways.
Like, it's
my mother-in-law said that she wasn't going to tell our family in Brazil because she was praying to God that it would go away.
Oh no.
I literally had to laugh from crying, and because like, I was just like, nothing's. She's fine. The kid could have been born with cancer, stage 4. Like, what? God, people are so silly.
I can't. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Jesus, but he ain't got shit to do with that, baby. Like, I don't know how else to put it.
It ain't my struggle.
Like, that is, man. And it's something weird when, like, Cause the sticker, we had the stickers. What for? It was like Autism Awareness Week at school or whatever, and he got
Yeah.
stickers. We're going through the store, fucking around I forget which one, but people will be like, "Oh, but I see autistic. He still looks so normal." I wanted to like really jump on that because I have had many occasions where I was so angry, all I could do was like fritz and go, "Thank you," and just keep moving forward.
I feel that.
Bye. Mwah, mwah. Thank you for your input. I appreciate you greatly.
Bye.
She is the sage of sagery. For a
Oh
reason.
my God, she's freaking
She
awesome.
is. She is an
That-
amazing person.
I love learning new things. That was.
Mhm.
Thank you, Sage.
Yeah, I
Thank
knew once I saw her. Now you see why I got like kind of excited. I was like, oh,
Right. Like we got the hype teacher. Like,
right?
show
Oh yeah,
us.
I got one of my learned friends. Please make me not look like a dumbass.
Not look like that.
Right? Like, please let this not look like the blind leading the blind and telling both of us telling us, yeah, we're doing great.
Yeah, this is good. We should keep doing that.
That sound like a waterfall to you?
Thank
Nah. It's probably just a river.
See, and now we know. So
Now we
one
know.
said they
Oh,
don't
man.
like the high and low functioning, and then someone else said, you know, that's how we decipher who we
there's
are.
a differential to it and that does make sense. I mean, it could just be that individual person doesn't like the concept of it.
Right.
Just
right.
as, to be fair, just devil's advocate, just as much as it is Sage's individual perspective that it is
Right.
okay. So it's like,
Absolutely.
oh my, you know what it's like? It's like you actually have to have a conversation with people and like not care about those kinds of things and just kind of address them as individuals. I know. Radical thoughts.
Radical.
Thoughts. Radical thoughts here on Captain Fallon's mental help streams. By the way, this is the 9th one. I feel really happy. I'm gonna do something big for the 10th. I hope you make it. We're not cutting out. I just wanted to throw that out there for all of my, I believe, one person watching.
Awesome.
But yeah,
Great.
I,
You know what
sorry,
chose?
I cut you off like 4 times.
Great topic you chose because you know what? You're never affected until it's you, until you're there, and then you're like, huh?
Yeah,
Like, what? That's fine.
and
People.
and for me, I used to do fucking event coordination and management and stuff like that. So it's just literally like dancers, fire dancers, like runway models. Like I was herding cats. You know what I mean? For like a fucking living. And this still overwhelms me. Like, even I can't understand. Okay, it's definitely the emotional connection I feel because them bitches wasn't nobody, and I love this little bundle of mayhem. But it's just so exhausting loving, and he only recently started being able to like express affection, and when
That
I
must
tell
have been
you
hard.
that was the hardest part for me, like. I would hear like all my other friends that have kids and stuff, like their kids are like, "Love you, Papa. I love you, Mom." I'm like, "Oh, I'm so happy for you." Get off the phone, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm such a shitty parent." You know what I mean? And I blame myself because I'll be damned if I'm going to blame my kid. And
You that though because that's on your son's. It's when he needs to learn
yeah, and
comfortability. You know, that's why I'm saying watch Atypical, especially with the son. It's gonna hurt, but it's like
hurt.
something you need to see to just be like, I'm not alone in this. I'm not like my daughter wouldn't show affection until she was 3, and for a year straight she did nothing but watch people. It's called mirroring. And I bring her to the park and she'd stand like a statue and just watch people. I'm like, why is my daughter not interacting? I understand. And then I'd play with her, but she didn't want to play. She just wants to watch. And then she's like, and then she starts acting like the other kids. She's very, now she's very affectionate. So, you know, I cried a lot as, when she was a newborn
so hard.
and she didn't like hug me or she didn't smile at all. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? You know, it's really hard on you as a parent.
Like That was like the weird thing though. Like, for I, he was at least like a happy baby. Like he would smile and stuff, and like yeah, he would smile and play, and just he didn't care.
Right.
Like I don't know how else to put it. Like he had his fun, but like it didn't matter. He was so. But at the same time, whenever Beth, although that's probably more food related. Oh, and she can. All right, I'll send her like your stuff, your Facebook stuff via message, so that you guys can get a hold of each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll
Yeah.
send that.
Awesome. She's awesome. I'm always willing to
No,
listen
I know
to
how it is. It's okay. Sorry. I'm literally talking to Sage in the chats, and then you're here, and it's all confusing, and I'm so
Right.
sorry.
Right.
She said, sorry she had to jump out so fast. It was lovely chatting, and we hope you make it to the 10th. Captain Valen mental help stream.
Love.
Because I do believe that having these are important. Not just because, two fucking legitimate ass strangers talking to each other about things they might not even be able to talk to some of their friends about because they just can't understand.
Can't even talk to family.
Yeah, for real. Like
My dad literally said, "Oh, she doesn't look ADHD." And I wanted to scream. I wanted to scream, but instead I just sat there and I was like, I'm not gonna scream. I'm not I'm gonna just
like yeah, we just had a week with his grandma here, which is super dope. My wife's mother. She's an amazing woman. She's absolutely fantastic.
That's like
And
husband.
I mean, she does. I don't particularly think she likes me, and I feel judged the entire time she's here. So it's a very stressful situation. But that's not that's on me. That is my interpretation of events. That is my reality, and it may not be the actual reality. I have to learn that about because I filter everything through negativity. It's just because that's like what I know. So it's very hard for me to get to a positive place about things. So I have to understand that just because my reality is negative doesn't mean that the really reality is that way. And I just
That's you said something about that, and I want to just jump in if that's okay, real quick. I had a discussion with 4 other people one time, and we were talking about whether the world was a good place or a bad place. Not to hop off topic, but everyone kept saying, "Oh, no, it's a good place. It's a good world. I see good things." And for me, my response, I felt crazy because I'm like, I don't think it's a good world. I know there's good people and there's good things, but why did I grow up and see bad things? Why did I grow up and have to see and go through all these bad things? And then you're all sitting here telling me it's good. And then it's just a huge misconception that I think we all, we try to say it's a good world, it's a bad world. I just think we should focus on ourselves and who we are and try to better ourselves. And then the world will follow,
Do you remember if it was a winter season? I don't know where you live or if you even have seasons because some places don't.
New England. I'm in.
Oh, okay. So was that a winter season?
Probably.
Because, well, okay, not only do you have winter 9 months out of the year.
Right.
I'm in New York, so I get it.
Right.
So, all right, I guess I'll just get to the crux of what I meant. People romanticize the way the world is around the holidays. And wintertime usually reminds people of Christmas in particular. So people tend to want to believe the world is better because that's what Christmas does. It's like its entire fucking job is to make you feel like the world is good enough and you're okay enough to spend some money on some shit. Like and I understand that, and it gets me every year. It's my favorite holiday. I'm a Christmas guy. I love that shit. I used to go around with normally I wear like vests and ties and stuff. Red vest, white shirt, beard, hat, rocking around the Christmas tree. I was that drunk asshole. But I forget where I was going with that shit. I got lost in my own thought. That happens too much. I got sidetracked. Could be all this weed I'm smoking.
Yes.
But
the what keeps us level.
Right?
It's
I'm
what
like,
keeps
I
us level.
even keel. It's not even like, and the fact that it's viewed negatively is so fucked up. Because if I can talk about all the time, they have wines called Mommy's Little Helper. Just a big old bottle of booze.
I can't drink liquor. I'm allergic.
Oh,
So
different reasons.
I literally like just I had an alcohol issue and I just went overboard and then my body's like, stop, we're done. So, you know, and
All right.
I don't like the way I feel. So
There you go.
there you go. Amen.
I was
But-
never allergic to alcohol. I was allergic to not drinking alcohol for a while, which is a totally
Right, me
different
too.
problem.
I didn't even know what shot glasses were. I just used to take the bottle of
Dude,
fifth.
3
of,
fingers. I mean, shots are fun. They're for
That was
fucking
the
kids
part-
games. That's how you play checkers.
or that was the chefs. Can you get a 3 fingers of Dubra or 3 fingers
Bam.
of
Right there.
Tito's? Yep.
I remember the first time I went to a bar. I was like, not the first time I went to a bar, but for this particular story, when I asked for 3 fingers, I was like 19, and I had already been drinking this place for a little bit. I was 6'1" in high school. All right, I'm like wide in the shoulders. I'm 50 pounds heavy. I was just a big dude. Like most people, just like let them fucking do whatever. Until I got rowdy, and then they'd be like, "You want to call the cops?" I'm like you know, wait. Because at the time I didn't realize you would get in more trouble than me. But now I know, and I want to go back and be like, you could have owned a bar. But again, I drag myself away from the crux of the conversation. Fuck Santa Claus.
Fuck Santa Claus.
Sorry, no. Just that people tend to make things rosier without, like, they always want the "It's a Wonderful Life" thing where everything works out in the end. I found my way back to where we started.
Like Christmas. We were talking about Christmas and the holidays.
Yeah, and how
Don't-
I got there. And I put myself in, whenever you're in the holiday season, you put yourself in the best of times. You know what I mean? Like, things are happy. Hell, I used to go into bars and smell like apple pie. Like, I would use like apple cinnamon body spray that girls wear. Dude, I would clean up because in a field of douche car noir, I was like an oasis of family memories, good times, and warm smells. I was fucking the game up because I'm ugly. I'm not a pretty person. Like, I'm funny though, so like you can't just be funny. You got to have funny and I didn't have like money, so I had to smell like you remember good things.
Who at 19 has money and good looks
Right?
and I
Right?
don't know.
Dude, if today it seems like everybody, they're like, I'm 19, I own 14 buildings. I mean, they're in my father's name, but
I got my
like,
PS5 on release date and I'm 16. Like, what, how?
like you, right? Oh my god, my friends that are like
Yeah.
I think they're called shoe heads. They go
Oh, sneakerheads. Yeah.
sneakerheads. Thank you. There's like a whole underground world there where people go bananas. I did not realize shoes were that important.
Like Jordans, they'll keep like the 15s. They got numbers. They're like Final Fantasies. They got like the 1, the 15. They're gonna start using the Roman numerals. They got like the 3 11s.
I know this is not about parenting. Actually, this is about parenting. Fuck it. Because I'm not buying my kid shoes he can't ball in. Period. Like, I will send that boy with some straight up. Although, like, shit, I used to get threatened with Chuck D's all the time. The Chuck Taylors, the canvas shoes, like, and now they're like the hip cool thing that everybody's like.
I still have my my Converse. Remember, it was cool when you wrote like high on one and then buy on the other. I'm still wearing like my black nail polish from like high school. I don't cut my hair and my beanies. And why'd your mom looking like a Zoomer? And I'm like, hold on. We created this shit. We're stuck in between the boomers and the Zoomers. That's not fair.
I swear to you, I don't know what either one of them means, but I would
Boomer
throw
is the
dirt at somebody who called me it.
baby boomer generation, the older people, the before the
Oh,
90s.
I know the
and
boomers. The zoomers are like the newer one. I thought the
96 and newer.
millennials.
Yeah, so mind blown. I'm just the BAMF. We're like the badass motherfuckers. We're just like the ones who just did what we did and just like, we don't belong. That generation, like the 90s, the late 80s to like early 90s, we just...
Like every state had an adventure fucking action park. You know what I mean? Someplace in the 80s where you would go to have fun and nearly die.
Yes.
Like,
I've gotten stuck on like 2 roller coasters, okay?
see,
In my...
I remember being in the Asterhome, and which is actually a dope place. They were nice. But they took us to this place called the Catskill Game Farm, and they just paid money for us to get headbutt and kicked by goats that we did not respect the autonomy of because we did not understand. But we learned. That is a lesson we learned. Like, whew, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was the first time I ever had the wind knocked out of me, and a goat just said, "Excuse me, sir, that is my shoulder," and I was like,
I've never even heard that. That's incredible.
"Oh my god!" But like, and fuck the animals. They had these rides that I swear to you, there was somebody in the bottom of just fucking running, pulling on a fucking treadmill that's making this whole thing go. Like,
I don't care. Those wooden roller coasters still got me shook.
yeah, hell yeah, because I was sure they were gonna break.
Yeah, you're clicking, and there's like a 50-50 chance you might not make it home.
Right?
Yeah.
You see that one turn, you were like, all right, I'm cool with everything, but that turn, and you know that turn, and you're like, all right, well, okay, I'm scared, but like, and then you're like, this is where I get either 40 feet in the right direction,
Right.
or I stay in the cart, or in the wrong direction, or I stay in the cart. And,
Right.
Oh my god, you never like just to be graphic, I clenched my cheeks to grip hard, like I was like, hey.
Yeah. We used to sing Britney Spears on the roller coasters because it's pain, you know? Pain.
Oh, yeah. We used to do Bleach, like the attack names in Japanese, because people wouldn't know. I'd be up there like I'd be freaking out like Getsu, yeah.
Like what?
And I swear to God, my friends that don't know are just like, and then my other friends, fucking he was a Byakugo fan. I can't remember his fucking long ass name, but this dude did, and he would like scream that out.
Byakugo Kuchiki.
Sensan Bakura or some shit like that, right?
Oh, Zenzon Zubak. Yeah, with the swords. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or the flowers. The
flowery swords. Yes.
Yeah.
Not mutually exclusive in this case.
Yeah, and he was my like favorite besides Ichigo. He was my favorite, so I should have known that.
I always have favorites that nobody else likes. Like my favorite Bleach character is Ikaku. Period.
Wait, who? Ikaku?
Yep.
Okay, great character. Great character.
Absolutely fantastic. He has his Bankai from the start, but his honor and respect keep him like from doing it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a Grimmjow fan. Grimmjow fan all day.
There's nothing wrong with that. Grimjow's dope. Like
I want to name a dog Grimmjow. Was it Jackowitz? Grimmjow Jackowitz, just so I can hear the vet say, "Grimmjow Jackowitz, it's your turn." Or whatever his name is. Grimmjow Jackawalker.
It's like Jabberjack, right?
Jabber.
I'm looking it up.
I'm thinking about the Jabberwockies, the dance group. Like
Yeah, it's Jaeger Yaks.
There we go.
Grimjaw Jaeger Yaks.
All right. Well, I have to go.
I just got the notice myself from behind me.
Outside before it rains, and then I'm gonna my kid's butt in Fortnite. But it was awesome talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you do any more parental things, especially like that, let me know. You know, you're not alone. My husband and I go through it all the time. We're stressing. It's not easy, but we go through it too. And then sometimes it's like you feel like you're not like, you don't fit in the groups. Like, don't use this word and don't use that word. You want some cookies? And it's like, not really. I kind of need a drink and some weed, but anyway.
Like, what kind of cookies?
Got gummies?
All right. Well, it was absolutely fantastic meeting
Awesome.
you. And this kind of definitely turned into like just two people meeting and becoming friends, and I'm
I
super
know.
fucking okay with that.
Right. If you want to redo that, we can always redo that.
We'll have more than one parenting one. That is for sure.
Right.
There's
And
so
Sage
many
was
things.
such a great help. So that
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
awesome. That was awesome.
So, all right, you have fun. I'm gonna close out and
Have a good
best to
one.
you and your family. Bye.
You too. Bye.
All right. Well, that is where we call it for the day. I also have my call in the back. You saw me look back there. Got my youngest screaming, which means it's time for me to bail out my wife. So, yeah, again, this kind of devolved from its normal thing. And you know what? That's okay, because if there's one thing that I can relate to parenting about this is you never know what to expect. You have to roll with it. Some days your kids are going to be way better than you think they should be, and some days they're going to be way worse than they have any business being. And part of being a parent is learning to understand that, grow with that, and flow with that. All right, and I'm still struggling to do that. A lot of parents with neurodiverse children are struggling just to find their footing, just to find the steps they need to take. And some of them struggle, like myself, with suicide, which is why I still have the number up here. And that's why I want you guys, that's why it's always going to be a part of this. I meant to have the other number up. I'll have it in the details below. Just a parenting helpline, something. I don't know. I haven't found one now that I'm thinking about it. But fuck, I'm the parenting helpline. If you need something, DM me. Fuck it. I'm here. I don't know. But I'm Captain Valen. Just reminding you, life happens in every direction. So let's take care of each other and let's be compassionate and